In today's tutorial, it is a bright beginning with a beginner afghan, and this is what it's going to look like. We have a diagram and written instructions to begin right after this. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on bright beginnings, and this is a brand new afghan pattern, and this is a very simple afghan using the Bernat Blanket yarns, and this is the new one called Brights, and these are much brighter colors, but there is a baby version as well as more of a decor version as well in the Bernat Blanket line. In today's tutorial we're going to explore this pattern. This is for beginners. This is a very simple pattern. If you would like to change the sizes on this particular blanket, you just have to crochet in multiples of 4 and then add 5. What that means for beginners is that you have to go 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and once you're satisfied with the length of your chain, then you're going to add 5 chains at the very end. So it's multiples of 4 plus 5. So without further ado, I'm gonna grab my crochet hook today. It's a size L, an 8mm crochet hook today, and our Bernat Blanket yarn. In order to do this pattern, to make the generous size afghan, it's 50 by 60 inches, you are going to need 5 balls of the nice big size 300-gram Bernat Blanket yarn today. So let's begin with the slip knot. So if you're new to crochet, this is how you do a slip knot. So you're gonna gossip about the person across the table. Put your hand out like so. Take the string and put it over your finger twice toward the front side. Let me show that again. So point, you're gossiping, and you're gonna wrap the finger twice. You're going to then, once you wrap it twice, you're gonna just grab everything here. So you have the back of your hand here and the forward. Take the string and just move it up over the forward, but not all the way off. And now take the new back one and put it up over your finger, and that is a slip knot. So let me show you one more time. So you're gonna gossip about the person across from the table. Just squeeze everything shut. Back of your hand forward, move the back one up over but not over the top of your finger, and then take the new back one and go right up and over and insert your hook just like this. So that's how you're gonna create a slip knot if you're a beginner. So as I promised within today's tutorial, this is a beginner's, and if you want to chain 95 you can do so if you would like to match the pattern exactly, and if you would like to alternate this pattern, I'm gonna show you a smaller sample. You're going to chain in multiples of 4 and then add 5 at the end. So what you're just gonna do is just yarn over and pull through. So 1 2 3 and 4, and then you decide, is it big enough, yes or no? If not, continue again. So 1 2 3 and 4, big enough, yes or no? 1 2 3 and 4, and then once you're satisfied with that and you're happy with the length, you're going to add on 5. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. So that gives you your multiples of 4 and then adding 5. Again, if you're doing the pattern exactly as written, you'll just chain 95 and you don't have to worry about any of that. So without further ado, let's move up to row number 1. So in the crochet pattern today we have a diagram, okay, and the diagram is showing you the stitches. So these T's with the cross in the middle is a double crochet, and the ovals are chains. You will notice that the double crochets are sitting on top of each other, and you will notice that these chain ones here, the holes are gonna line up over top. So if you look at it here, you can see that the holes are lining up all the way at the top, which makes it really easy. Can I tell you something though? As a crocheter of almost 30 years, just by skipping this one stitch and making it a chain, this type of yarn goes a lot further because you're having less yarnage being used. So you're creating these little mini holes, and it makes a huge difference versus doing a solid version. Also, this is a really heavy afghan in the sense of warmth. So if you're looking for a bit of ventilation, this is a great way of doing it without having really obsessive holes at the same time. So what we're gonna do today is just follow the pattern, and once I get started, the repeat pattern is row number 2. That's why you see just second row. It's just repeating what you're seeing here. It's just showing you here on number 3 that it's just exactly the same. So once we get started on row number 1, we then move to row number 2, which is then identical all the way through. So I'm going to show you that next. So it's easier to show you in a solid color versus showing it in variegation like this, but again, that's completely your choice. So let's grab our hook into our hand and our yarn strand, once again our yarn chain. So you're gonna count to the 4th chain. So 1 2 3 and 4, and once you get to the 4th one right here where I'm pinching, you're gonna turn it over and get the back hump only, and you're going to yarn over and insert into the back hump of the chain. What this is doing is it's causing the chain to turn over, and it will be upside down so you have a better edge, and you're just gonna double crochet. So the first one here that we skipped all of these becomes a double crochet in this particular pattern. So you have another one here, and we're gonna double crochet into the next chain. So you just reach over to the next one. You see the back hump is coming out, and you were just gonna double crochet. Once you get that done, you'll notice that you have, because the first chain counts as a double crochet, you have your 3 in a row just like the diagram. You were going to chain 1, skip 1 chain on the chain itself, and go to the next one over and just double crochet. So you're going to double crochet in groups of 3 in a row for this whole pattern. Okay, so then you did that one, and let's come to the next one. Okay, and then we're gonna move on to the next one. So I have my 3 in a row now. That's how hard it is to remember. Not at all. So once you get your 3, chain 1, that creates that gap, skip 1, and then move over to the second one over on the chain. So what I want you to do on your large chain, just continue that same pattern going all the way across. Just get your 3 in a row, chain 1, skip 1, and then begin again. So the way that I had you count the stitches is that you'll end up being on the end where you should. So we have 4 stitches left over now, and so this keeps us in balance. We're gonna chain 1 first, skip 1, go to the second one over. So because I had you chain in multiples of 4 and then adding 5 at the end, you will keep this pattern in balance, and if you've done it exactly what they've asked of chaining 95, you will be in the last stitch as well. So either way you do it, you're gonna have a success story to share. So you're gonna go right into the end. I'm not even sure why I'm having problems with that. Crochet. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going right into the last stitch just like so. So if I pull it apart, you're going to see it staying in groups of 3, and then with the gaps in the middle. Let's move along to row number 2, which is the repeat pattern for the remainder of your project. So let's turn our work and move up to row number 2. So we're gonna match exactly what you see here. So where there's a double crochet, you're gonna place a double crochet, and where there's a gapping space, you're gonna place a gapping space. So to begin the next row, which is row number 2, which is all now rows going forward in this afghan, you're gonna chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. So do you see that there's 3 here? So this chain kind of matches this one here to keep you in balance. You're gonna move to the next stitch and double crochet, and then move to the next stitch and double crochet. So you just want to have the 3 match each other just like this. You're running into a chain 1 gap, so you're gonna chain 1 first and then start double crocheting into the next double crochet. So you're gonna skip right over that chain 1 gap in the row below, which creates those nice lines that are working all the way down the afghan. So you're just gonna match exactly what you see in this particular pattern. Double crochets to double crochets, chain 1 spaces to chain 1 spaces, and that's all it is on this particular pattern. Now when you use the variegated yarn, just like you saw in the original photo, is that you end up with really neat looks on this particular kind of project. So then again, that is your choice. You can either make it solid with the Brights blanket yarn, or you can make it variegated as well. I don't think either is a bad choice in this particular project. So you're just gonna continue to go all the way across. So at the very end, do not forget the final one, and you're going to double crochet in the turning chain. Do not go into a space like gap, go right into a chain itself, or you'll have a gap in the end. Then once you've done that, just turn it around. Do you see how they're all matching each other? Just start again. So chain up 3, that's your first double crochet, and then just double crochet into the next one, and into the next one, because you want your 3 in a row. So I can see in the row below, the next one is the chain 1 space, so chain 1 and then just double crochet into the next. So that's how you do this particular afghan. It just is a really quite an easy way to go. And then after you're done, you're just gonna fasten off and then just take a darning needle and just weave in your ends, and then you won't have any ends to show. So this is how you do the Bright Beginnings crochet blanket. Really quite easy. This could be your first project you ever try, and I think that you'll enjoy it at the same time. So even though you have excessive gaps, you see that they're not too bad here on camera as well. So they're not gonna be too bad, and I think that you'll enjoy this particular pattern, and it will go relatively quickly at the same time. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. Have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.